Jay-Z and them was putting it together.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they still harbor some energy. She said, were you intimate with Tory Lanez? And she said, what? And then it was like, no. And I was like, she lying.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, I knew she's lying. There wouldn't be no reason for me to be around Joe.
You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro, Desiree Perez, and the whole wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes. Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men, and you're still doing it.
Y'all, 50 Cent just pulled up with receipts showing how Jay-Z is allegedly behind Tory Lanez's suspicious stabbing in prison, and it looks like there's a whole lot of conspiracy going on. In case you missed it, Tory got stabbed 14 times in prison a couple of days ago and was lucky to make it out alive. At first, we thought it was just a jailhouse altercation that got out of hand, but according to 50 Cent, Jay-Z allegedly put the hit on Tory. And if you're wondering why Jay-Z would do that, it's allegedly to protect Megan and her reputation. See, new evidence just came out that kind of proves Tory did not shoot Megan and that he might have been convicted unfairly. Y'all, this drama is about to blow up all over again, so let's get into it. At this point, the Megan and Tory situation feels like a never-ending roller coaster. Every time it starts to quiet down, something even crazier pops off, and now Tory getting stabbed? That might just take this whole mess to a new level. It's giving drama that refuses to die. Like, how is this still unfolding? According to reports, Tory suffered a prison yard stabbing so bad he needed hospital treatment. Tory was in the yard of California Correctional Institution at Tehachapi Monday morning when another inmate stabbed him, according to multiple sources, including one in law enforcement. It's unclear what the motive was, but one source says Tory was rushed by ambulance to a nearby civilian hospital in Bakersfield. The reports also said that Tory was attacked at a housing unit in the prison around 7:20 a.m. Staff immediately gave him medical aid and called 911. He was then taken to an outside hospital. Then Tory's IG released a statement that said he was stabbed 17 times, including 7 wounds to his back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back of his head, and 1 to the left side of his face. Both of his lungs collapsed, and he was placed on a breathing apparatus. He is now breathing on his own despite being in pain, and is talking normally, in good spirits, and deeply thankful to God that he's pulling through. He also wants to thank everyone for their continued prayers and support. When news of this broke, a lot of people didn't feel bad for Tory because they felt like it was his karma for shooting Megan Thee Stallion in the foot. This person tweeted, "Keep feeling sorry for Tory Lanez is so funny. Just know that him being stabbed does not compare to him shooting Megan. She could have lost her life that night had the bullet gone anywhere else. I don't feel bad at all for that creature." Well, according to 50 Cent, this was not just a random jailhouse fight that got messy because, let him tell it, it was a targeted hit. See, the man who stabbed Tory is a really bad guy, already in prison for one of the worst things you can imagine. Reports say the inmate who allegedly stabbed Tory Lanez last week has been identified as Santino Cassio, who is already serving life in prison with the possibility of parole. Cassio, 42, is being investigated for allegedly attacking the rapper at a housing unit in the California Correctional Institution at Tehachapi. Cassio's rap sheet is a mile long and dates back to 2004 when he was sentenced to life with the possibility of parole for second-degree murder, first-degree attempted murder, personal use of a deadly weapon, and inflicting great bodily injury. Given his criminal past and the fact that he's doing life, it probably wouldn't take much for him to be incentivized to unalive someone in prison. Luckily for Tory, the hit was botched, and even though he was badly hurt, he survived. But why on earth would Jay-Z want to take Tory out? After all, the case is over. Tory's appeal was denied, and the case is done. So, why was this necessary? Well, allegedly, he's trying to protect Megan because something new just popped up that might put the whole case in jeopardy and humiliate Megan all over again. Remember how, on the night of the incident, there were multiple people in the car? We had Tory, Megan, Megan's bestie Kelsey, and a bodyguard. Well, during the trial, the bodyguard conveniently went missing and was unable to testify. But it looks like his conscience finally got the better of him, and he's come forward, claiming that Tory never shot Megan because Kelsey did it. According to TMZ, Tory's lawyers say that a bodyguard by the name of Bradley James overheard Kelsey admitting to firing the gun that shot Megan. James allegedly heard Kelsey say she fired the gun 3 times, and that Tory grabbed her arm and knocked it down, which caused the weapon to fire 2 more times. Even more interesting, during the trial, an eyewitness named Sean Kelly testified that he saw 2 women fighting before being broken up, which aligns with the newly submitted evidence. But that's not all. Multiple people are now speaking out about how unfair the entire trial was to Tory. Gianno Caldwell, a contributor to the New York Post, blamed former LA County DA George Gaskin for railroading Tory during the trial and improperly using gun enhancement charges to paint him as a menace. Political strategist Diane Blondin echoed the Megan conspiracy claims while comparing Tory's case to that of the Menendez brothers, who could be released despite admitting to killing their parents. She noted that no forensic evidence was found on the gun that shot Megan and said it was determined there was only a 0.001% chance Tory's DNA was on it. Now 50 Cent is claiming that there is a big conspiracy going on and that Tory's stabbing was not a coincidence. I mean, think about it. What are the odds that there was an attempt on his life only hours before new evidence dropped that could exonerate him? Yeah, 50 Cent's not buying the coincidence theory. But don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that Megan is lying or that she set Tory up. For one, she was walking away from the car when she was shot, so there was no way for her to know it wasn't Tory. And given that she was arguing with him before getting out of the car, it's kind of understandable that she would believe he shot her, especially since she'd been friends with Kelsey for so long. Why would she believe her best friend would do something like that? Plus, Megan never filed a lawsuit against Tory for shooting her. The charges actually came from the state, not Megan. And in the days right after the shooting, she didn't even name who shot her. When the police showed up, she told them she stepped on broken glass. But things took a turn when Tory and his team allegedly started spreading false stories about her, and that seemed to be the last straw for Megan. She finally had enough and decided to put him on blast during an Instagram Live, telling her side of the story.
Don't worry about it. Yes, this Tory shot me. You shot me. And you got your publicists and your people going to these blogs lying and shit. Stop lying. Why lie?
Things got out of hand after that, and there were rumors that Jay-Z allegedly stepped in to manipulate the case because he was trying to protect Megan, who was signed to Roc Nation. Tory himself claimed that he was threatened by someone from Roc Nation who told him to keep quiet and not speak about the case.
2 days after that, I get a call from Roc Nation that says, yo, we heard you're going to make a statement about what happened, and it'd be in your best interest if you don't make that statement.
But Tory didn't stay quiet. He denied shooting Megan and offered up his own version of what happened. According to him, things started going left when Kelsey, who he was supposedly seeing at the time, found out he and Megan had been secretly hooking up. And the wild part? Tory claimed Megan knew all along about his situation with Kelsey. He said that once Kelsey found out, she was more mad at Megan than him. That's when everything blew up. A big argument broke out in the car, and from there, things just spiraled, until it ended with Megan getting shot. Of course, that story didn't sit right with Megan's fans. Social media went crazy, and everybody started taking sides, arguing over who was telling the truth. Tory's version completely clashed with what Megan had said, and the whole situation just kept getting messier. He even tweeted, "Good D had me messing with 2 best friends, and I got caught. That's what I apologize for. It's sick how you spun it though." After Megan came out and said Tory was the one who shot her, everything blew up. He got arrested but didn't stay in jail long, since he was let out on a $350,000 bail. As part of the deal, he wasn't allowed to speak publicly about the case, and the court made it clear he had to stay far away from Megan. But even before things went to trial, Megan was already catching a ton of heat. People started turning on her fast, calling her a liar and saying she was trying to ruin Tory's career. The backlash wasn't just a few trolls online, it was loud, nonstop, and coming from all directions. Social media was brutal. Some fans switched up on her, and even folks in the industry threw shade. A few artists, like Drake, even dropped songs suggesting she made the whole thing up. She opened up about this in an interview, where she said, "In some kind of way, I became the villain. I don't know if people don't take it seriously because I seem strong. I'm trying every day to get through it and be good. I feel so bad because I don't feel like anybody's taking me seriously, but I don't want them to see me cry. I don't want them to know that I feel like this because I don't want them to feel like, oh, I got you. Oh, I'm breaking you." She also revealed that she wanted Tory to be punished, saying, "I want him to go to jail. I want him to go under the jail." But by the time the trial finally started in December 2022, things were already a complete mess. Even though it wasn't televised, the drama still felt like something straight out of a soap opera. Tory's legal team came at Megan with everything they had. They weren't exactly playing fair. Her personal life was picked apart in court, and even without cameras, details were leaking left and right. So the public still got a front row seat to all the chaos. Tory's defense strategy seemed less about proving his innocence and more about tearing Megan down. They pushed this idea that she was jealous over whatever was going on between him and Kelsey, and they tried to twist the story to make her look like the aggressor. They even went so far as to throw around claims about her being with multiple men in the industry, clearly trying to shame her and damage her reputation. Tory's team kept pushing hard and brought Kelsey in as a major witness, hoping her testimony would back up their side. But Kelsey and Megan used to be super close, and everything fell apart after the shooting. So when Kelsey got on the stand, she shared some pretty surprising info. She said that Kylie Jenner had only invited her and Megan to that party, and it was actually Megan who invited Tory along.
We had to come kill the streets for 5 minutes.
You gotta turn up the music. PD just came by right now.
You said what?
You gotta turn up the music. The PD just came right now.
Okay.
One good shot that he's talking about you.
Sorry, don't get my phone wet.
Well, needless to say, Tory was eventually found guilty, and that's when they really dragged Jay-Z into the case, accusing him of bribing the jury. Tory's dad, who had been vocal throughout the entire ordeal, went on a passionate rant outside the courthouse, accusing Jay-Z and Roc Nation of using their influence to sway the legal process. He took things a step further, alleging that Jay-Z was directly involved in getting Tory convicted, claiming that Jay-Z had a hand in ensuring Tory's guilty verdict.
I just stood here in this Los Angeles County and witnessed the worst miscarriage of justice that this world has ever seen. You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro, Desiree Perez, and the whole wicked system of Roc Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men, and you're still doing it. The only independent witness in this courtroom is a man whose name is Sean Kelly. He came to court, and our attorneys, he would not even shake their hand after he went upstairs with Kathy Ta and Alex Bott.
They met on Saturday before. They met
with our
Well, Tory's dad did not hold back either. He went on to accuse Jay-Z of buying off a key witness, Sean Kelly. He claimed that after Sean met with some people from Roc Nation, his behavior completely changed. Sean had originally given testimony that seemed to help Tory, but then his attitude shifted, and Tory's dad believes he was either influenced or straight up paid off. It was a bold claim that added even more drama to an already chaotic situation. Tory's side was basically saying there's a lot more going on behind the scenes than anyone realizes, like Jay-Z and Roc Nation allegedly interfering with the case behind closed doors. And that just made the whole thing feel even more complicated and intense.
The only independent witness in this courtroom is a man whose name is Sean Kelly. He came to court, and our attorneys, he would not even shake their hand after he went upstairs with Kathy Ta and Alex Bott.
They met on Saturday before. They met
They
on Saturday.
met with our witness.
Well, Tory ended up getting sentenced to 10 years in prison, but his dad just wouldn't let it go. He's convinced that Jay-Z has been behind all of this from the start, pulling strings behind the scenes. According to him, Jay-Z's main goal was to protect Thee Stallion, who signed to Roc Nation and is a huge moneymaker for Jay-Z. Tory's dad believes Jay-Z's moves were all about protecting his investment in her career. There's also the fact that Jay-Z once tried really hard to sign Tory, but Tory turned him down, famously saying that he would never sell his soul. And if you know how the music business works, you can probably read between the lines there. Tory's dad believes Jay-Z took that rejection personally and held a grudge that helped set this whole thing in motion. It looks like 50 Cent believes the same thing too, even hinting that Jay-Z may have gone so far as to try to permanently take Tory out. This isn't the first time 50 Cent has accused Jay-Z of shady behavior either. He's openly said Jay-Z has a God complex. He thinks he's effing Jesus, you know what I mean? This Jehovah is, I'm just watching him. He said something one time I didn't like. Those little subliminal things, for me, that's the punk way to do things. But there's also the ongoing restraining order Megan has against Tory. Last year, her lawyers claimed that Tory had been bullying Megan from prison. They said, "Indeed, Mr. Peterson continues to harass, bully, and antagonize Ms. Pete from prison by and through his use of third-party online bloggers, whom Mr. Peterson employs to spread defamatory